In the midst of the silence that has been enveloping the activities of BTS members during their military service and individual hiatus, suddenly the South Korean entertainment world is again shaken by a dramatic and unexpected moment. A video recording lasting less than a minute suddenly spread like wildfire in the middle of a dry forest, hitting fans' timelines with lightning speed, sparking thousands of comments, speculation, and tears. In the footage, which has now been viewed more than 40 million times in just 24 hours, it is clearly captured Jungkook, the Golden Magne, the Prince of K-pop, a figure who has always been known as a warm and loving person for his hyung, stands up from his seat and leaves the room with a tense face, second by second after Jimin steps in. The moment was so fast, so short, yet so deeply etching curiosity. What exactly happened? Why did Jungkook choose to leave? And why is Jimin's facial expression no less dark when he realizes the departure of the sister he has loved so much? Those questions have now split the ARMY fandom in two, provoking a wave of heated and sharp comments on social media. Some voiced deep concern, recalling small moments that had been forgotten, signs of cracks that may have appeared long before, hidden behind the laughter and hugs they had been displaying on the screen. There were also those who defended all out, rejecting outright the possibility of an internal conflict between the two BTS members who are known to be closest to each other. But reality is sometimes more bitter than assumptions, sharper than just fancam edits. An anonymous source, who claimed to be close to the agency's environment, gave a leak to one of Korea's leading gossip media, revealing that the incident was no coincidence. It was not the first time. There are unresolved tensions between Jungkook and Jimin. They try to cover up, but sometimes emotions can't be controlled, he said. That statement muddled the situation, especially when a large fanbase account uploads old chat pieces that show extreme differences of opinion between the two when discussing the direction of their respective solo careers. Jungkook wants full exploration without shadows. Jimin is more sentimental. It was a clash from the beginning, wrote a senior fan who has been known to be neutral. Another surprise came from a former staffer who had worked on their documentary project. He said that while shooting for BTS, yet to come in cinemas, there was a heated argument between Jimin and Jungkook that was forced to be censored in the final version. Jimin cried afterwards, but Jungkook didn't come back. He went straight home, he said slowly. This development felt so foreign and painful for the ARMY, who had seen Jungkook and Jimin's closeness as real brothers. Those who are used to watching sweet moments like Jimin buying Jungkook his favorite food in the middle of the night, or Jungkook hugging Jimin from behind on stage, now have to accept the fact that everything that seems perfect could be harboring deep cracks behind the scenes. Where did this conflict actually begin? Most observers attribute the beginning of this rift to a massive difference in vision as the BTS members began exploring their solo careers amid the group's hiatus. Jungkook, with his global style, international collaborations, and freer musical explorations, was considered too detached from BTS's roots, which had always put forward solidarity and shared values. Meanwhile, Jimin, who in his solo interview stated that he wants to keep the soul of BTS in every song he sings, may feel left out or even hurt. During one of the less publicized behind-the-scenes sessions, it was recorded that Jimin had said, "I feel like we are no longer one voice. Even the way you see the world now is different." And although the statement was delivered in a subtle tone, Jungkook's response at the time was quite surprising. He paused, looked down, then left the room. Some of the staff thought it was just ordinary fatigue. But now, those little pieces feel like a big puzzle that is beginning to clarify the picture of the crack. Conflicts like this are nothing new in the entertainment world. But when it happens inside the body of BTS, a group built on a foundation of trust, mutual struggle, and love between members, the impact becomes many times more devastating. Especially for fans who make the close relationship of the members a source of inspiration and strength. A hashtag #ProtectJungkook appeared within minutes of the viral video going viral, followed by hashtag #WeSupportJungkook and hashtag #TalkToEachOther, which perched on the world's trending topic. This is no longer just an artist's play. This became a deeply emotional issue for millions of souls who grew up with BTS's story. And while the public waited for clarification from HYB, the agency instead chose to remain silent. There is no official statement. There is no clarification. No attempt at calming. Deafening silence. The former senior entertainment reporter mentioned that HYB's silence bodes ill. Usually they're quick to respond, but this time, they let it rot in a public space. That's unusual. Now all eyes are on them. On Jungkook, who chose to leave the room, and on Jimin, who just stared blankly when he realized his sister was away. Netizens are wondering, is this the beginning of the end? Is the strong foundation called BTS now fragile? In one of his old videos, Jungkook once said, Jimin Hyung is where I go home when I lose my way. What if the house has changed? What if they are no longer the same? One by one, the fans tried to reassemble their own narrative, recalling the last time the two looked familiar. Some discovered the gaffe during their last concert before the hiatus. Jungkook barely looked at Jimin that night. I think it's just tired. But now I feel it. A signal, wrote one ardent fan from Japan. But in the midst of this mass panic, voices also appeared that tried to calm down. They need time. Sometimes even brothers can quarrel. It's not the end, said an elderly fan who has been following BTS since their pre-debut days. But is this really just a momentary quarrel? Or deeper than that? A clue leads to something else: the news that Jimin had visited Jungkook's private residence a few weeks before the viral incident and was denied entry. A neighbor claimed to see Jimin come at night, standing for a long time in front of the gate, before finally leaving with his face down. If this is true, then the wounds they have suffered may have been gaping for quite some time. Questions continue to loom large over the public. Will Jungkook and Jimin recover? Or are we witnessing the beginning of the biggest emotional breakup in South Korean boy group history? ARMY is now at an emotional crossroads, between hope and fear, trust and broken. On the one hand, they want to remain confident that all this will pass. But on the other hand, reality and existing signals are noticeably fading that light. And in the midst of it all, only one thing is certain. The moment Jungkook left the room will go down in BTS history as a turning point that will never be forgotten. Time goes on, but the rumble in the hearts of the fans has not yet subsided. Day after day passed after the viral incident, and instead of abating, the atmosphere was getting hotter, stifling, and leaving a million injuries among the soldiers who seemed to have lost their beachhead. Jungkook's departure from the room when Jimin walked in wasn't just a fleeting moment. He had become a symbol of a quiet division that no one wanted to acknowledge. The public eye is now staring intently at the two figures who were always in line. Is their closeness so far just packaging? Is the chemistry that is often praised on stage just part of a marketing strategy that is now starting to crack?